There's one area that I really just have spent zero time. That is Key Largo. I don't know how many times I've gone past there and thought I'd really like to fish up there.
Oh, got him.
Tom, got him?
Get him out of there, Tom.
Oh, get him out of there, big rag.
You gotta get him out, Tom.
He was staying way off because he figured the snook and jacks and other things would be right on that shoreline. Right. It wasn't long before we came up in that one spot and I just saw fish everywhere. Oh, look at that. They're coming up front on top now. Oh, let's dump the well here. This should be fun. Oh, yeah! Come on, come on. Oh, he ate it. He ate it. He ate it. Nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought you said you had to...
Got him, relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh, awesome. Look at that big boy. Woo!
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
So Lane said he's been catching a bunch of snook.
Yeah?
It's a pretty good size one, so we got a couple rods of 20-pound braid here. I think he's catching most of them right up tight to the mangroves. I'm excited to see him. You know, he's been up here fishing right out of Key Largo here for years. I was asking around, you know, who knows this area the best, and his name kept popping up.
Yeah? Well, I could use some help around here. I don't know, this is way out of my area.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's always hard to leave Island Rana and go north.
Right.
I'm always tempted to run south.
Fishing all throughout the Keys, there's one area that I really just have spent zero time. That is Key Largo, and we pass it all of the time coming into the Keys. You're going over those bridges and you're looking through those sounds, and you know, I don't know how many times I've gone past there and thought I'd really like to fish up there. And you know, it's kind of cool to go up there and just explore on your own, and sometimes I'm really into that. With just a little bit of time, it's also fun sometimes to get somebody that actually knows what's up and take you out there. So we made contact with Lane Goodwin.
Yeah, I've been asking around, you know, who are the best guides in Key Largo nowadays. You know, it's changed since years ago when we were guiding, and the one name kept coming up, and it was Lane Goodwin. I remembered his name. I remember it from the redfish tournaments. This last winter, he won the Swamp Guides Ball, which is one of my favorite tournaments of all time, and he did it all in Key Largo. Caught redfish, snook, and a bonefish all on the same day. I think he caught, like, you know, 2 of each and won the Swamp Guides. So, you know, we knew we had the right guy. How you been doing?
Doing good, doing good. A little bit of rain earlier, it's clear. I think we can go do some fishing here.
Yeah, it looks like it's slicking off. Look at that flag right over there. It's just laying flat.
You told us the right time. You waited till the storm went by, and now it's pretty.
Water's warmed up. We're up around 70, 72 degree water temperatures. I think we're gonna have a good bite today.
Good.
Looks
so,
good.
What do you think? What do you want to look for?
Let's go snook fishing. Take advantage of the bite. Like say, we get over 68 degrees, those snook starts feeding for us here in the northeast parts of the bay. Really shallow, a little different than down south and out west, so you're in for a good treat.
Well, we got the rods rigged up like you asked us to.
Hey, everything looks perfect.
Let's do it.
All we need now is a few fish.
You know, he had a game plan. His number one, sounded like every day his game plan was catch bait, and he had it wired. That was one of the biggest concerns I had. Every time I've gone up there, you know, I have no idea where the bait is, no idea where to catch pilchards. So it almost makes it even more intimidating to go fishing there. He knew exactly where the bait was. We took off that morning, ran under the bridge there, the Key Largo bridge, ran under there, didn't go too far, and he had a spot pulled up there, and I learned a lot just on the bait catching. So why don't we just keep shaking the chum bag slightly? Coming out real good, and we're literally watching to see the little filters come up and
That's
pop.
it. I'm just looking right in this slick, basically in our prop wash. Sometimes they'll actually flip out of the water, or you just start seeing the swirls.
I've drugged my bag like this before, but I've never really just paid attention to looking back to see them. That's a good tip.
There's a lot to learn on the bait catching up there because they do it a little bit differently. And what we saw that was the most interesting and unique part about where he's fishing is there's no tide. And without the tide, it affects the way that you fish, and it also affects the way that you catch bait. And what he had done was he put the chum bag out early and drug it through the area. And then when we stopped, he was trying to go into the wind because the only way that the tide moves up there, as he was saying, was either barometric pressure or the wind.
Yep.
And that's what pushes the tide at all.
Oh, look at that. Woo!
You got him good that time.
All
Good
right.
throw.
Dude, putting us on some good bait here. That's impressive, man. Tell you, that's more impressive to me than finding the fish, just to have the bait wired like that. Then the next thing was, where to go. I was very curious, thought we were gonna make a long run back to the bays. And he said, before we go anywhere, let's check this spot. And we didn't even jump on plane. He's like, just started idling around.
We'll
I'm
just
like,
idle over here.
and I'm thinking, snook, redfish, maybe even bonefish in that area. I was thinking, what are we gonna fish for? And he's like gag grouper. I'm like, really?
Make sure your drags are locked down and hold on as soon as you cast.
All right.
Got to go heavy. As soon as that bait lands next to the mangroves, there's a good possibility it could buckle right over.
Under the mangroves, he had this spot. He had said, I go here and I catch gag grouper, not Goliath, not this, but gag grouper. Very interesting.
It's a gag.
That's a big one, dude. That's a big one. I thought that was a barracuda.
Your drag's locked down.
Oh, got him.
Tom, got
Get
him.
him out of there, Tom.
Oh, get him out of there, big gag.
You got to get him out, Tom. There you go, walking back, walking back.
He's coming
Nice
out.
job.
Oh, nice job, dude.
Nice job,
That's so
Tom.
cool. He's on that white sand. That is awesome.
That's a great fish right there.
That is awesome, man. Talk about calling a shot. Watch the trolling motor.
Great fish.
Yep, trolling motor's in.
That's a big one, too. That's cool.
Well, that could be dinner right there, buddy.
Good work, Paul.
That is really cool. That is really cool to call the shot and say you're gonna come up here and look for the gag, and man, that's a great one. I don't think that's the one I saw.
It doesn't
I really
look as
don't.
big, I
No,
agree.
There was one that,
I
I mean,
agree,
he was
Tom.
long. That's great. I used to have a spot like this in Key West Harbor. In one little spot, you can see 40 gag groupers sitting in one little spot.
I asked a scientist years ago about them. She said they were changing sexes in here. Is what she
Is
I
that
thought they
right?
might be spawning. And
Maybe we should leave them alone then.
spots like this, I don't kill them. I
Right.
let them go, and we can come back and catch them in another week
Seems
or two.
like kind of a private thing to do. Huh?
Yeah, I don't want to be too involved in that process. I certainly don't want to hurt that process. But
Right.
in about
Well, that was great,
2.5,
man.
3 feet of water.
That was great. I'm gonna bait up and catch another one.
That is awesome, man. What a cool call.
I'd say it's good to go.
Look at him go right back
You
under
see
the
right
mangroves,
back,
too.
he's going right back to the hole.
Dude, the water's so clear. They came up chasing the baits right here. Oh, there they go again. Look at him going. Look at him going. Wow, wow.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay, the only key you'll need. By Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. By Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Quantum Rods and Reels, fishing at a quantum level. And by Costa, Power Pole, Ameritrail, and Key Largo.
I mean, gag grouper under the bushes, sight casting like that. That's
Inches,
something that
just
was
like
that was
a
really
foot and a
fun.
half of water.
Right.
Shallow.
Right.
Totally
and
unexpected.
we asked Lane, we were like, well, we're real excited about this and it's really cool, but could you do this all day? And he's like, oh yeah, I got points all down through here, and this is something I do a lot. And I think we probably could have continued on doing that, but our real goal for the day was to learn a little bit more, or learn as much as we possibly could about the area and experience as much variety as possible.
I still see him clear as can be. A whopper, dude.
Let's catch him. Where is he?
Going by that dead tree, maybe 2 feet off the shoreline. You see him going?
Oh, I got him chasing me. I got him chasing me. Big one chasing me. Oh my gosh, he's huge. Oh, it's a cuda.
It's a cuda. That's
Big
a cuda.
cuda. Look at him. Look at him. He's gonna come eat that thing.
That's cool. Do you see that snook?
See him up here?
Yeah.
Get there. Good shot.
There's more big fish right here.
Yeah,
Another one
right here.
What is this? Tarpon?
That might be the cuda. Oh, just got bit. Little cuda. I want a power pull so we don't get on this snook.
Here,
I guess he's still.
You see him? He's on a
still
dead
moving.
tree.
He's still moving.
He's on a dead tree.
Oh wait, he turned around. That's a shark, dude.
It's a shark.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Lemon.
Oh, look at that little lemon. Look at him chasing that bait right on top. That's cool.
Well,
That's cool.
a little bit of excitement.
He had this shoreline. It was really cool. You could tell the wind was blowing down that. That was another thing I noticed, is he fished a lot of the windy shorelines as opposed to the leeward shorelines. We always go to leeward shorelines, you know, just instinctively. And he had some of these shorelines where the wind blows on it and then kind of creates its own current,
Right.
moving down that shoreline.
That's why he's looking for that, because just like we are, we're looking for moving water. We go to a place and it's slack tide. It might be a fantastic place, but it's not the right time to be fishing there because there's no water movement and the fish are inactive or inaccessible further back in there. And so that's what he's looking for. He's looking for any way that the conditions will manufacture a tide for him. Basically either really super high pressure conditions or mostly wind. I mean, mostly what he's doing is wind driven tides.
Fish coming. What's this big fish right here, Rich?
Tom's got one on. Throw a scoop of bait. I guess they're jacks or something.
Jacks. That was cool, man. There was a big old school of them right there.
Oh, they're still around. Oh, look at them. They're coming up front on top now. Oh, let's dump the well here. This will be fun. Man, they're all over.
You need a bait?
What he was keying on is this little sandy strip about 10 to 15 feet off the shoreline. He was staying way off because he figured the snook and jacks and other things would be right on that shoreline.
Right.
And you know, I was up on the tower, you guys were up there casting, we're flipping pilchards up against the mangroves. It wasn't long before we came up on that one spot and I just saw fish everywhere. Got a nice one back here.
Got a good one?
Yeah. They came up chasing the
school of
baits
fish
right
is
here. Oh,
coming
there
right
you go.
back
Look at him
at
going.
us.
Look at him going. Wow, wow. The spots he had there, you know, it was surprising to me that we were throwing up against the mangroves and hooking these big jack crevalles. You know, I really haven't fished an area like that. Usually when I'm catching big jacks, it's around a bridge, a channel, you know, something deep, you know, some deep access. Here we were in these shallow flats, fish throwing up against the mangroves. I'm expecting redfish or snook,
Right.
you know, maybe a trout, something like that, but I was not expecting big jacks like that. And that was a really cool thing to throw up in there, get thumped, and get these big jacks coming. Oh, he's on you. Oh, Tom, nice!
Got him, Tom?
I got him.
That was cool.
Get right behind it. There's more right there with it.
That was cool. This is a cool way to catch jacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Good way to catch
I'm
anything.
gonna come help you in a second here, Tom.
Man, I would have never expected to catch big jacks like this around the mangroves.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
It's a good bite. I decided to go without a bait because they've been kind of tough, and if you
Swim
throw your
bait on a
off
surfer
or
hook,
one of them eats it, then you're done. This thing, you can go more.
That's a good call. Whatever this is very big. Very big. Like really big.
Oh, that was cool.
We might need to chase this big. Look at this.
Rich is afraid he's gonna run out of line, Lane.
Are you really?
It's a really big fish. I don't know what it is, but either a giant jack or...
That was a very cool situation because just really kind of unexpected. We thought we were going to be fishing for snook. The jack crevalles, I love the jack crevalles. I mean, we even mentioned it on the boat, but you know, the jack crevalle gets very little respect here in the Florida Keys. It's a super hard fighting fish, and it's a very similar fish to one that they have in the South Pacific called the giant trevally. People come from all around the world for a giant trevally and celebrate it like we do a permit on fly. But you know, I don't know why that the jack crevalle doesn't have quite that same feel to it, but I love them. I've always loved the jack crevalles. They're a surface biting fish. They fight hard. They pull drag. I mean, I've always liked those fish, and you know, anytime I can catch big jack corals, I'm all about it. I think it's great.
Nice jack.
Big jack.
Big
yeah.
jack, huh? Big old
one.
jack.
Wow.
I'm a power polus.
So what are those other things we're seeing, you think?
We're gonna swing here, Rich. I'm a Mysticus.
Wow. That guy
Nice jack.
he really pulled hard. I thought he was bigger than he was.
Me too.
That size jack on these light rods, that's all you can handle. Very cool.
Can't freaking get my hand around him.
It's a big jack. I would have never thought of catching jack that big in this shallow water. That is cool. Wow.
Good job.
He's got some shoulders.
Nice. Cool.
As inshore fishermen in the Florida Keys, we have so many options. We can travel north to Key Largo, we can travel south to Key West, and what we do often on days like today, when it's really blowing hard, is we will avoid a very rough and wet boat ride by simply putting the boat on the trailer, traveling up or down the Keys, getting to where we want to go, keeping everybody much more comfortable. So we really, really value the trailer, and we use it all the time. Now, if you're going to trailer, whether you're in the Florida Keys or anywhere else, especially if you're going to be using busy boat ramps, here's something that you really want to pay attention to. That is, never do what we're doing right here, and that is staging right here on the ramp. We know it's going to be quiet and there's nobody using this boat ramp today, but a lot of people make the mistake of getting to a boat ramp, putting their boat down the ramp, and then starting to get everything ready. It makes everybody mad. It really clogs up the boat ramp and causes lots of problems. Tempers flare. What you want to do is when you get to a busy boat ramp, you want to go way off to the side. You want to take all the straps off. You want to turn on your batteries. You want to get everything completely ready before you even get in line to put the boat in. Then once you're completely ready, get in line, put the boat in, tie it up, and get your truck out as fast as possible. That's going to keep tempers from flaring, and it's going to make everything a lot easier. So as I see a lot of busy boat ramps, there's some comedy that happens at these busy boat ramps. And one thing that I see is a lot of the trucks have big creases in the tailgate. I'll show you exactly why that happens and how you can avoid doing that yourself. What's going on when you see this big giant crease in the top of a tailgate, the driver can't see the trailer because they don't have the trailer guides on their trailer, and so they choose to back up with the tailgate down. Now, as they're winding the boat back and forth, and you have your jack right here, this trailer is going to come and that jack's going to hit right here, and it's just going to jackknife and put a giant dent in the top of your tailgate. And so to avoid that, learn how to use the mirrors. Look in your mirrors, keep the tailgate up, and you won't put that giant crease in the top of your tailgate.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Yeti, built for the wild. By Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate. True Flies, life off the chart. Vicious, get vicious. Motor Guide, accuracy matters. And by the Florida Keys and Key West, Buff, Fraybill, and Live Water Sports.
You want to see more saltwater experience? Go to saltwaterexperience.com for exclusive web content. We've got how-to videos, behind-the-scenes footage, and things you've never seen on TV. Go to saltwaterexperience.com now.
You know, we finished up on that shoreline after catching a few fish, and again, Lane wanted to show us some more stuff, and we were excited that Lane was very generous with his knowledge. I mean, he wanted to show us around and show us what he had, and And so it was time to jump up on plane, and he took us to some other cool spots.
Yeah, he had, you know, we bounced around, showed us a bunch of different spots. Then that last spot we pulled up to, it was really cool. You know, constant shoreline. You could even see back in there was an island that had you know, some sort of big giant lake in there, and there was this one little creek that came out of there. Gosh, that's a really good example of what he's been talking about. You got this little opening. Rainfall makes it flow out, and wind makes it flow in. There he is. Oh, that's a good bite. That's a snook. He's jumping. We were just talking about that. Just talking about it.
That's good.
I think they're coming out to feed tonight.
I hope so. I'm ready.
You know, learned a lot, saw all kinds of different things, caught fish that I didn't expect to catch. Didn't expect a gag grouper under the mangroves. That was totally unique.
I didn't either.
Didn't expect to catch jack crevalles under the mangroves. And then the one fish that we were really expecting eluded us until the end, and it finished off catching that nice snook with the sunset and that beautiful environment.
That's right.
It was an awesome day. Oh man, that is a nice one. The bite is on.
Woo. It's always good to get out with, you know, people who are pleasant to spend the day with. I thought Lane was very knowledgeable, fun guy. He's a very professional guy that is safe and knows his business up there, and I really did enjoy spending the day with him and would suggest it for anybody going to Key Largo.
Good job. Nice. Very cool. Oh, thank you, Lane. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. Good job, dude. All right, there he goes. See you, buddy. Very cool.